Points here, you know, they're one of 3 Premier League clubs who are yet to pick up a point.
Yeah, Everton will need the home win, especially playing here. They've had 2 really difficult games to start off the season, but they'll see this as getting points on the board, Deno.
Jonathan Woodgate, former England international, alongside us here at Goodison Park on BBC Radio 5 Live. We'll go around the grounds as we often do. We'll give you the scores as they go in around the country. And after Sports Report with Mark Chapman, we've got another commentary in Bournemouth Arsenal to look forward to at 5:30, as we're underway in the sunshine with Nottingham Forest in their red shirts and white shorts, playing from right to left in this first half. So they're attacking the Gladys Street end. For those of you who of course know Goodison Park, this famous old ground, the home since 1892, but of course moving to the new stadium at Bramley Moor Dock for 2024. This raucous venue that they need to try and make the most of, as Everton in their royal blue shirts and white shorts play from left to right. Here is Patterson, ball played forward by Holgate early. Rondon trying to get in round the back, and Cook on the turn quickly had to put it out of play for a throw.
Yeah, I think it was the slight breeze there, Daniel, that got the better of him, but I used to love coming to play Goodison. As a player, you could always guarantee the atmosphere. It was always magnificent.
Yeah, all you scoring a goal here in your Leeds United days back in the day. The talking of goals has been one at Craven Cottage. Maz Faruqi.
An early goal for Fulham here. It was a messy one in the end for Brentford to give away. It came off the post. They failed to clear their area. Bobby D called over Reed, tapping in the rebound. Fulham 1, Brentford 0.
Free kick. Gordon. Such a live wire, creating a nuisance of himself on that far side, and he was just pulled back up by Worrell. Worrell's actually got to be careful. You think that he got a yellow card at Newcastle quite early on in the game on the opening day. Gordon's going to give him a run for his money. He's going to try and get in behind the right wing back Nico Williams, and Everton now in front of that strong travelling away support, decked out in red and a smattering of yellow in that away section on the far side. Everton that's where they're going to take the free kick from, and it comes now, and all the way across the flag. Didn't go up. Davis was the player who threw himself at it at the far post and just couldn't get the connection.
As a central defender, those balls are so difficult to deal with, because if you're committed to them, you can score an own goal. If Anthony Gordon had just got round the back there a little bit more, he could have had a tap in. I'm eager to see what he's like today. He's had a very good season last season. Now Chelsea want him.
Yeah, and I'm sure Chelsea might well come back in for him as well, as Pickford right up to the edge of his penalty area, all in green, the England international, throws the ball out underarm to Holgate, and then Gordon comes towards the halfway line to collect this ball. He's busy, he's industrious, looking always to try and make something happen. Rondon coming back from an offside position, giving away a free kick. Do you remember your goal in here for Leeds?
Yeah, header. We drew 4-4.
4-4.
Did you commentate?
I was here that day, yeah. David Weir popping up with a very, very late equaliser for Everton. Nottingham Forest are attacking. The interesting thing about these two in the Premier League is that there's never been a draw in the 10 Premier League meetings between Everton and Nottingham Forest.
Well, let's hope we don't have a 0-0 draw today.
Yeah, 30 years ago, old First Division, Scott Gemmell for Forest, Dave Watson with the equaliser, 1-1 was the last time that these two shared the spoils. 0-0 in the early stages. No other goals to tell you about elsewhere. Forest, though, have a throw, and offside against Brennan Johnson, right in front of the eye line of the assistant referee on that far side, on a glorious afternoon on Merseyside. We'll be going racing just after 3:30 as well. Swindon are leading Rochdale by 1-0. Rochdale are the only side in the Football League with no points, bottom of League Two. Robbie Stockdale was sacked as their manager on Thursday, and Swindon are leading at the county ground by 1-0. And Burnley have just taken the lead in the Lancashire derby at Turf Moor against Blackpool without a win in their last 3 in the Championship, but Josh Brownhill has scored an early goal at Turf Moor. You're up to date, 5 Live. Pickford with the free kick for Everton, left-footed, met on the volley by Worrell. Owoni back towards O'Brien. Checked, was he? The referee is Andre Mariner, who says no free kick and lets the game flow back towards Cody, central figure of the three. We've had an early goal at Fulham, we've had another early goal in London. It's at Selhurst Park. Sahel Sahi.
It's gone the way for Aston Villa. Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 1. Ollie Watkins with his first goal of this season. A ball down central midfield. It was nodded towards him. He raced into the area and fired it past Guaita. Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 1.
Gray and Gordon linking up. Now Iwobi takes over, back in towards Gray, 6 yards forward of the centre circle, back towards Iwobi, to Gordon, running forward now. O'Brien will go with him. Gordon looking for a 1-2, gets the ball back in towards the penalty area, taken away off his toes by Topolu, and behind for a corner kick as we welcome listeners to the BBC World Service. Wherever you may be, always a pleasure to have your company for this commentary game on the BBC. Goodison Park, the home of Everton. We've been playing for 5.5 minutes. Everton 0, Nottingham Forest 0. But Everton playing from left to right, attacking the park end of the ground, have a corner kick that Gray is about to take. And his right arm is aloft, right-footed, into a crowded area. Flick header away. Davis, side onto goal, controls it, edge of the area. His blue shirt rippling in the breeze. Back then towards Iwobi. Lets it come towards him, edge of the centre circle. The ball then eventually makes its way towards Gray, passes the ball in towards Gordon, and stepping out of defence was Joe Worrell to clear for Nottingham Forest, but they've given it away again, Forest.
This is what Forest did at Newcastle. First game of the season, when they have to keep it. But Damari Gray and Gordon are picking up areas of the pitch centrally, just off Rondon. The two wing backs are giving them the width, so they're really narrowing the back three of Forest off.
It's interesting you say that, because the three of them are occupying the three central defenders for Forest, but in Gray and Gordon they've both got the pace and the ability then to spin him behind, to get him behind the wing backs.
That's where they have to be really careful, the wing backs. If they get too advanced of the play, they can get exposed in them areas.
That's Jonathan Woodgate, former England international. Here is Holgate, short of the halfway line, pings the ball over the head of Rondon, and it goes through towards Dean Henderson. Another goal at Selhurst Park. Sahel Sahi.
Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1. It's Wilf Zaha with his second in the week. The ball was played down the middle. He raced away from the Aston Villa defence, and from a very tight angle he's equalised. Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1.
1-1 there. Fulham lead Brentford by 1-0. Leicester Southampton is 0-0. Earlier Tottenham beat Wolverhampton Wanderers by 1-0. Hibs 2, Rangers 2. Rangers were down to 9 men in the end. And in League 2, Bradford City, who previously lost both of their away matches in League 2, won away at Victoria Park. Hartlepool yet to win under Paul Hartley. Hartlepool United 1, Bradford City 2 was a full-time score. So Mark Hughes, who once of course had a spell at Everton, getting 3 more points, as he'll now turn his attentions to the League Cup in midweek and look for no doubt another giant killing as Blackburn Rovers go to Valley Parade in midweek. Here Nottingham Forest have a free kick, a few yards forward of the centre circle, central position. Nico Williams, former Liverpool player of course, will stand over it. Forest committed every red shirt into the Everton penalty area, and then it drops once and then out for a goal kick to Everton. 0-0. Jonathan.
You say about Nico Williams there, he's had a great start of the season. For me, he's been a good signing from Liverpool. Watched him when they played Newcastle first game of the season. I thought he was really effective, and then again against West Ham, the clearance off the line. But he was taking all the free kicks, getting crosses into the box, shots, good play, full of energy.
Some excellent balls into the box as well against West Ham United last week at the City Ground. You'd have heard that maybe on 5 Live. We've got 2 more games for you tomorrow, and 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. 2 good games too. Leeds United Chelsea at Ellen Road, followed by Newcastle United Manchester City at 4:30. Cody to Holgate. Back it goes to Conor Cody on his home debut, and then he searches with a ball, looking for that run of Mikolenko to come in off that left touch line, guarded back by the head of Cook towards Henderson. It's an overarm throw out by Dean Henderson to Williams. You can hear actually the breeze picking up on our effects mic. That gives you an indication of how blustery it is here on Merseyside. No other goals to tell you about. We have of course been to Selhurst Park and Craven Cottage, where it's 1-1 and 1-0 respectively. What about Leicester? Southampton hold on. Gordon now for Everton, edge of the area. Davis played fractionally behind him, still gets the shot away. Right-footed, drags it wide. Goal kick will go to Leicester. John Akers.
It's Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Leicester have been on top. Vardy appealed for a pen, waved away by Michael Salisbury. Harvey Barnes with a curling shot, blocked. They are the side in the ascendancy. Leicester 0, Southampton 0.
Davis did well there. It was a fractionally behind him, wasn't it? Couldn't take it in into his stride.
He had to adjust his feet. It wasn't the right ball from Anthony Gordon at that moment in time. It should have been a little bit more in front of him, but he adjusted well.
0-0 it remains. McKenna into that aerial duel with Gordon. Ball cleared by Toffolo. Didn't keep the ball in play. It had gone out. It'll be Patterson, the Scottish international, to take it with a throw to Rondon. Couldn't hold on to the ball. Laid off then by Lingard. Won back by Iwobi. Frank Lampard full of praise for Iwobi. That he can play in a number of positions and always does the job for the Everton manager. And he was certainly aware there and alert.
You need those type of players in your squad for the full season. Really important for the team to do a job.
Rondon will give chase. Henderson comes out of his penalty area, all in grey, the Forest goalkeeper. And the multi-ball system, Patterson on this near side had picked the ball up off the short white cone in front of the main stand. Now turns away from O'Brien. Holds off the former Huddersfield player as well. Gordon passes the ball. Iwobi releases it early. There was a lot of pace on that ball from Iwobi. Drilled in hard towards Davis. Gordon now once again. Everton probing, but it remains 11 minutes in 0-0. Doncaster 0, Salford 1 is the latest score in League 2. Salford top and unbeaten. The leaders of League 2 then are ahead. Cross from Patterson, and it drifts wide and out of play for a goal kick.
Passing had just got his head up. There was a beautiful pass from Conor Cody crossfield, but if he just lifted his head up passing, he could have played the ball back to Gordon. It was in a lot of space, and Gordon could have ran with the ball, delivered it at the box himself. He just rushed it a little bit.
It will be interesting to see how Forest fare in this away game. We know that they're going to be competitive at the City Ground. They'll have a great support. They'll back them, will urge them on and give them plenty of enthusiasm. Like maybe Conor Cody just leant into that ball with his hand, spotted by referee Andre Mariner. But away from home, they were toothless at Newcastle, didn't have a shot on target. Yes, it's a learning curve and they've got to adapt in the Premier League. Let's see what areas they've improved on today.
Yeah, I thought it was a shock to the system when they went to Newcastle, and you saw the energy of the Newcastle players and how they're pressed. They'll get that similar today here.
Yeah, certainly was an intense start by Newcastle United, the way that they pressed Forest that afternoon, as Forest go all the way back to Henderson on the edge of his area. He's been a good signing on loan from Manchester United. That penalty save, of course, against West Ham last week. Patterson cuts out the ball as Toffolo tried to raid on this near side, the left, up towards Gordon, runs it in field. Everton passed the ball back towards Cody, urged on in the sunshine by the supportive Everton crowd at Goodison. Mikolenko, the Ukrainian international, back towards Cody. Awoni puts him under a little bit of pressure. And now over on that far side, it was Tarkowski who runs the ball out of play and actually came off a Forest player last. It will be an Everton throw on that far side, but Brendan Johnson has stayed down for Nottingham Forest as Joe Bennett has been sent off for Wigan. So Wigan are away at Birmingham in the Championship. They've drawn all 3 of their games in the Championship, but Joe Bennett, formerly of Middlesbrough, has been sent off after 10 minutes in the Championship. BBC 5 Live in the World Service here at Goodison Park. Mikolenko to Rondon. One of 2 changes made by Frank Lampard. Picks out Gordon, central area. Gordon shoots! Good save by Henderson. Got it out ahead of him. Hit it right-footed. Must have been a good 25 yards out. Henderson diving away towards his right-hand side with a 2-handed save. 0-0.
It was a good save. It was Anthony Gordon. He's in the position again.
This is Damari Gray this time, who again tests Henderson, this time low to his left.
That's going to be the problem for Nottingham Forest. Damari Gray and Anthony Gordon in behind Solomon Rondon. They're looking around who picks them up, because they're either side of the two deep midfield players.
Forest are on the back foot. Everton will come again. Davis, Gordon wanting the ball into the penalty area. Rondon turns. Rondon can't get the shot away. By the time he does, it was a rather weak effort off his left foot, and Forest can clear. Before today, Nottingham Forest had faced more shots than anybody else in the Premier League. On the evidence of this quarter of an hour, once again, it's a goal that could well come under siege here from an Everton team that have made a very good start.
The defenders and the goalies are the goalie are going to have to earn the money today.
Gray had made that run in behind. It was Cook with a header away for Everton. Not sticking at the minute though. Forest just can't get hold of the ball. Swansea 0, Luton 1 is the latest score in the Championship. Yet to win so far, Luton, but they're winning away at the Liberty Stadium, and it's Crawley 0, Wimbledon 1 is the latest score in League 2. Davis forward ball, just too much on it, and it runs out of play for a goal kick. We'll go to Craven Cottage. Maz Faruqi.
Mitrovic has had the ball in the back of the net, but it was disallowed. He was in an offside position when the free kick came in for Pereira, but it's all Fulham here. Fulham 0, Brentford, Fulham 1 rather, Brentford 0.
Burnley have got a second goal. They lead Blackpool 2-0 at Turf Moor. No other goals to tell you about. Henderson, not surprisingly, taking his time for this goal kick, just to try and...
A little bit of sting out the game. But that is the problem. Gordon and Damari Gray, because McKenna and Worrell don't want to come out with their slots. They don't want to go and press. They want to stay where they are, because they know if they go to Mark Gray and Gordon, they could get exposed.
Tarkowski plays a forward ball out towards that far side, the left. Mykolenko over the halfway line. Gray instructs him to pass the ball towards Iwobi, and then Iwobi actually tried to pick out the run of Damari Gray, again trying to run in behind the wing-back. Featured game in League 2 is at Colchester. There's been a goal. Lawrence Herdman.
Colchester 0, Leyton Orient 1. Paul Smith down the right, lovely low cross into the 6-yard box, and Colchester defender Luke Chambers could only turn it into his own net. Colchester 0, Leyton Orient 1.
Mention the leaders, Salford unbeaten, winning away at Doncaster Rovers. Leyton Orient are also on 10 points, along with Northampton and Stevenage towards the top of League 2. And so Leyton Orient looking to try and maintain that excellent start with Salford, who are already winning away at Doncaster Rovers. And in fact, Stevenage have matched them too. Stevenage at Broadhall Way are leading Carlisle by 1-0, also in League 2. 0-0 here in the Premier League, 5 live in the World Service. This is Cook on the halfway line, now towards Worrell, just outside the centre circle of his own half, to O'Brien, who passes the ball back to the tall, lean defender with the blonde hair. And then Mangala now takes over and inside the centre circle. But Everton have every Royal Blue shirt back behind the ball, bar Rondon, and even Rondon is trying to occupy those central defenders in the centre circle too. As McKenna now towards O'Brien, edges his way forward, but then gives the ball away. Mykolenko's tucked in and his clearance. But because Everton have got everybody back by Rondon, Worrell is able to trot across towards the far side, and Forest are able now to see a little bit more of the ball than they have in these opening 15 minutes.
Yeah, Everton are just waiting in this scenario when to press. So when the ball goes to a wing back, that's when the trigger is to press. They're just letting them have the ball at the minute.
And Worrell will go back. The games for Forest don't get much easier. They've got Spurs and Manchester City to come, but they're coming forward here, and it's the shot by Johnson that was blocked and then cleared by Davis. Now it's with Lingard. Lingard waits. Owoni back with Lingard. Mangala try to get it out to Williams, succeeds. Williams in the penalty area, beaten away by Pickford. Got it on target. O'Brien tries to get there. O'Brien into the area, gets there, and the shot away on the rise, left-footed. Much better from Nottingham Forest, just over the top into the Gladys Street, 0-0.
Nico Williams going forward. He must have had the most chances in the last 3 games from right wing back, Nico Williams. He drives through. There's a good save by Pickford. He should really save it. When you look at this Everton team now, and you look at Tarkowski at left-sided centre-back, I'm interested to see how he does, because the last how many years he's been at Burnley, he's always played in a 2.
Yes.
Now he's playing left-side centre-back, and it's a totally different ball game. Yeah. At Burnley, he used to play right-side centre-back in a 2 with Ben Mee. This is different for him.
Yeah. Well, if ever there was a man to analyse his game, you're the perfect man to do so. And we talked before about Forest looking to improve on that game that we watched together at St James's Park on the opening day. Didn't have a shot on target. Well, they've already improved on that now with that effort from Nico Williams, and O'Brien going close as well as Gray and Worrell tangle. I've got a little bit of sympathy here for Worrell. I think Gray initiates the tangle.
Worrell needs to be cute.
He does.
He needs to be cute. He's got to realise the balls in behind are going to do him. So he needs to step off earlier and read the game, but he's not. That's a second yellow card in 3 games.
Yeah.
But Worrell's a wholehearted defender. But when you're up against a player of Damari Gray's quality, you've got to be a bit nimble and a bit more cute with him.
Forest Green 0, Plymouth 1 is the latest score in League One. It's a free kick. Worrell was booked as well for Nottingham Forest, so it was an early yellow card he received at St James's Park, because once Gray goes away from him and then the referee's left with no option. Free kick for Everton, in it comes Davis, totally unmarked, couldn't make the connection, but nobody picked up the run of Tom Davis as then Gordon scythes down O'Brien, and this will be a yellow card for Anthony Gordon. Let's go back to Mas Faruqi at Fulham.
A second goal for Fulham. Paulinho from a corner that came in from the right. It's all Fulham. Fulham 2, Brentford 0.
Brentford, who picked up 4 points out of their opening 6 or possible 6, and Fulham, who'd drawn both of their games but leading 2-0. Brentford will look to try and stage a similar fight back than they did at Leicester, but Fulham 2-0 up. Leicester 0, Southampton 0, Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1, a result Tottenham beating Wolves by a goal to 0, and it remains 0-0 here, but that was a clear yellow card for Gordon.
Yeah, it was a definite yellow card, but Tom Davies should have scored from the free kick. I mean, that's twice now the ball's getting delivered to the back post. No Nottingham Forest defender, midfielder forward in sight to defend it.
Totally unmarked, wasn't he? Totally unmarked, and just couldn't get the right connection. Lingard, forward ball, Awoni, Johnson gives it away. Iwobi passes the ball, Gray coming back from an offside position, free kick. We'll dip into the Championship now and we'll go to Bramall Lane. Chris Coles.
Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0, but it's all Sheffield United. They've created several excellent opportunities. The best, Ollie McBurney, denied by a brilliant reaction save from Thomas Kaminski in the Blackburn goal. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0.
Blackpool have got a goal back, Burnley 2, Blackpool 1 is the latest score in the Championship, and we will stay in the Championship as well as Forest go back, and we will go to West Bromwich Albion and Hull City. Lee Blakeman.
West Brom 0, Hull 0, but that's only because of the West Brom keeper David Button, who's just pulled off a brilliant save to deny Callum Elder with a great strike from the edge of the area. Lively game this, but still West Brom 0, Hull 0.
At London Road in League One, Peterborough lead Lincoln by a goal to 0. 0-0 here at Goodison Park, 5 live in the World Service midway through the first half. Everton have had chances with Davis primarily. He's had at least 2 of them, hasn't he? That shot that was saved by Henderson, and then that one. You'll look at it again on Match of the Day tonight on BBC One and think, probably could have done better with that.
Yeah, especially the second one. He does have to take that bit more composure in that area of the pitch. So we're just watching Damari Gray's movement. Looks to go long but comes short. It's difficult for Worrell. It really is in that position, especially when you've got no cover.
Ball played back to Pickford for Everton. Featured game in League One, Shrewsbury Ipswich. Hamish Marshall, you've had a goal.
Yeah, the leaders Ipswich in front by a goal to 0. Tyrese John Jules, he picked it up 30 yards out, slimmed past a couple of the Shrewsbury defenders. Lovely placement from just inside the box. Shrewsbury 0, Ipswich 1.
And whilst we were there, the ball given away very, very carelessly, and Awoni just picked up that and had the shot at Pickford, and Pickford made the save, but it was very, very sloppy by the Everton defence.
I think it was Tarkowski who gave it away, because he's not used to playing on that.
That's what you said.
The left side centre back.
Yeah.
He's coming out to bring it onto his right foot, and when you get him pressed in that area, you can sort of cut his angles off, his passing lines. Then it becomes even more difficult for him.
Maybe Awoni, you'd have expected him to have done maybe better.
He should do better.
Mikolenko. Far side the left for Everton, crosses into the penalty area. On the stretch was Cook to clear for Nottingham Forest, and then Williams will clear the ball away and then the downward header by Tarkowski, and it runs out of play, and it will go for a Nottingham Forest throw on the halfway line that Lingard will take. Then it's back to Cook in the central figure of that three-men defence for the red shirts of Nottingham Forest. Awoni now lays it off towards Toffolo. The left wing back passes it ball to McKenna, and now with Cook, and then Forest go all the way back before. Frank Lampard earlier was being taunted by the Nottingham Forest supporters for his previous connection with Derby County, as Brennan Johnson into the penalty area, cleared on the full by Conor Cody. Didn't win either of his two games as the Derby manager against Forest. In fact, failed to score in both too, his Derby County sides, as Lingard now picks it up for Forest. And it was played in between Awoni and Toffolo. And Toffolo then slides into the challenge on Patterson to win the ball high up, and it runs out of play, and it will go behind for a goal kick. And there's been another goal at Selhurst Park. So Hale.
Crystal Palace 2, Aston Villa 1. They've come from one behind to lead. It was a well-worked free kick. Foul to Edouard, left side of the penalty area. He picked out Schlupp, and he slotted it past Martinez from 8 yards away. Crystal Palace 2, Aston Villa 1.
Goal kick's just been taken. We've got time for an update at Leicester. John Akers.
Leicester 0, Southampton 0, but Southampton have had the ball in the back of the net, just offside. Mara, the 20-year-old Frenchman, on his debut. Lovely finish, 0-0.
Ball goes back to Pickford now. You were pointing to something to me on the pitch there. Gordon had come very, very central and quite deep. Ooh. Henderson comes out of his penalty area, saved by a header away by McKenna. It was interesting that he was trapped by Worrell. Worrell followed him a long way.
Right in with him. But he doesn't want to do that. You can see he doesn't want to do it. He's reluctant to do it in my view.
Little tussle there between Gordon and Mangala in the midfield. Gordon, remember, has been booked for Everton. Toffolo coming infield now off the left touchline to Mangala. Passing the ball out towards Williams. We know he gets forward. The cross into the box. Toffolo had also made his way forward from his left wing-back role. That bouncing ball eventually under control by Iwobi. Mikalenko plays it short towards Gordon, and then Mangala wins it back against Gordon. As now Lewis O'Brien passes the ball to McKenna. There was a little nibble again from Mangala on Gordon. Might have to watch that one. We're going to go back though to Sir Hale.
It's still 1-1, Ian. It's not 2-1 to Crystal Palace. The goal has been ruled out. VAR check, offside, as Schlupp went to connect with the ball. So it's Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1.
Newport 0, Tranmere 1 though is a latest score in League 2.
The difference in this game compared to the Newcastle game is how Newcastle suffocated Nottingham Forest and pressed them all over the pitch, where Everton are going into a bit of a deep block and pressing from there. But Newcastle were all over Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Everton aren't pressing them like Newcastle did. That is the difference.
As we said on that occasion and earlier on, the Forest really did struggle in those early stages at St James's Park. In the end, it was the 2 goals from Newcastle in the second half where they broke down the new boys. Back, of course, in the top flight after a 23-year absence, 0-0. As a very sedate pace. The thing is as well, the way that Everton are playing, that day at St James's, Newcastle whipped up the crowd. Not that they need much whipping up at St James's Park, but here the crowd are almost now waiting for something to happen for Everton. Might happen right here now. Here is Davis on the inside, played by Gray, looking towards Gordon. Gordon in the end crowded out by the red shirts, and Nico Williams should be able to clear for Nottingham Forest on that far side. He loses out though to Mikalenko, no foul. Inside to Rondon, shot from Gordon. The referee gives a free kick just outside the area.
Good decision.
Nico Williams gets a yellow card. He was aggrieved that he'd lost out in the challenge to Mikalenko. Referee Andre Mariner didn't give the free kick, and then his haste to get back is given away a free kick left-hand side of the box.
Top refereeing by Andre Mariner. Top refereeing. Let the game go. Nothing come of it. Brought it back in a dangerous area now for Everton to deliver a free kick into the back post, probably like the last 2 have.
I think Mikalenko was half expecting the referee. It's almost like he momentarily stopped, did the Ukrainian, and then realised he could play on. But Andre Mariner, with the the decisions out there in the middle, and this is a very threatening free kick. Damari Gray stands over it. It's far side the left of the penalty area, just a little bit down from that left corner of the box. It's Damari Gray, right foot in, whipped in towards the near post. Henderson at his near post, I think, got something on it. That might have been a smart save, because he'd have been unsighted. It was extremely crowded.
Henderson does really well, and it doesn't matter how you stop it. He stopped it with his feet. It's a good save.
Turn behind for a corner kick to Everton. Palace 1, Villa 1. Fulham 2, Brentford 0. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 scores in the Premier League. 0-0 here. Corner kick in towards the near post it goes. Williams actually heads it away before his goalkeeper at the near post. It was a in-swinger. Back to Gray it goes, who goes for goal, and he has a dipping effort. Over the top it goes, and it's out for a goal kick. It remains goalless. We'll go to Deepdale. Ellen Ellard.
Preston 0, Watford 0. Fairly even start here for both sides, but they've had big chances. Vakambayo had a run at goal after picking up a deflection from a Preston defender. He then went one-on-one with Freddie Woodman in the Preston goal, who parried the shot away. Troy Parrott down the other end, the Spurs loanee. He had a shot on target from distance whilst looking for his first for the club, but it only forced a regulation save from Backman. Preston 0, Watford 0.
Crewe 1, Northampton 0 is the latest score. Forest Green 0, Plymouth 2 is a latest in League One, and Peterborough have got a second goal at home to Lincoln. So we'll go to Queen's Park Rangers Rotherham. Aaron Paul.
Rotherham 0, this has been unspectacular but entertaining. The home side have offered more in attack. Their best chance coming as Lyndon Dykes has fed the ball unmarked to the back post. He made a mess of it, and it remains 0-0.
Thanks, Aaron. 31 minutes played. Still 0-0 here at Goodison Park, as Tarkowski across to Holgate, cut out by Owoni, sold him short there. Now it's Owoni. Can he profit? He's looked towards Lingard, and then he couldn't get the right pace of the ball inside, and that peters out for Forest. They win it back though through Owoni. Now towards O'Brien. No foul on Iwobi. O'Brien to the edge of the area. Owoni shapes to shoot, gets it out from his feet. Mangala does get the shot away, saved by Pickford, low down, smart towards his left. Another goal in the Championship. Bramall Lane, Chris Coles.
The league leaders are behind. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 0. A brilliant free kick from Oliver Norwood, 25 yards out, bottom right-hand corner. Keeper didn't move. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 0.
They have won both of their previous 2 games in the Championship at Bramall Lane. Forest are starting to get opportunities in this game.
It's just because Everton seem to be sitting off them or giving sloppy passes away. There's one from Mason Holgate there, 2 from Tarkowski, which are giving Nottingham Forest belief.
MK Dons 1, Accrington 0 is the latest score in League One. You're up to date with the goals as they go in. Here is O'Brien. Back it goes to Worrell. Lingard over the halfway line. His forward ball easily dealt with by Mykolenko. Went straight towards the Ukrainian. Davis.
First
now,
time Lingard's touched it, isn't it?
Hardly mentioned him, have we? Jesse Lingard, as it goes out for a throw on that far side. They've been busy in the transfer market, and they've got 4 of their recent acquisitions on the bench, including Gibbs White, Freuler, Swiss international signed from Atalanta, Emmanuel Dennis from Watford, and Kouyaté is the other one. As the ball cleared by Williams, loose ball picked up by Mykolenko. Loses out though to Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson head down, darts forward over the halfway line, far side the right, strong run, goes past Tarkowski, required Iwobi to come back there, and then Iwobi was judged to have been fouled by Brennan Johnson, but that was a real shift by Iwobi, and you can hear what the Everton supporters think about that, how they respond to the industry from the midfield.
That's what Everton fans love, and that's what they will respond to, and it was a good job Iwobi was there, because Brennan Johnson left Tarkowski. But Iwobi made up for it.
Portsmouth 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Newport 1, Tranmere 1 is the latest score in League 2. What about Stoke City Sunderland in the Championship? Alistair Yeomans.
0-0. 3 good saves from Anthony Patterson, the Sunderland goalkeeper, but for Sunderland, Ellis Sims fired a shot into the side netting from an angle. He looks like a prospect.
Thanks, Alistair. Damari Gray picking up the ball and driving at the Forest defence. We're going racing very, very soon. Just noticed the time, 33 minutes past 3. They'll soon be off at the Ebor at York on the Knavesmire. John Hunt will call that race for us here on 5 Live. As Burnley, a second goal for Nathan Teller. Burnley 3, Blackpool 1 is a latest score in the Championship. Corner kick to Everton, still 0-0. And it comes, flicked on by Tarkowski. It's only a glancing header. Awoni breaks. Iwobi wins it back. Handball though from Iwobi. Free kick to Nottingham Forest. Goal now at Queen's Park Rangers, Aaron Paul.
QPR 0, Rotherham 1. A Rotherham set piece wasn't dealt with by the home side. It dropped to Chio Benny in the box. His first chance blocked. He made no mistake the second time. QPR 0, Rotherham 1.
They're just running a little bit behind schedule on the Knavesmire. You will not miss the Ebor. You had a good day in midweek, did you, at the races?
Great day. You can't beat a day at the races, especially if you win.
Only if you win.
Only if you win, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That reminds me, John Murray's going to bring commentary tomorrow of Leeds United Chelsea as part of 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. As it's still 0-0 here with under 10 minutes remaining. Awoni stabs it in field, cleared by Davis. Up towards Rondon. Cook comes across, out of play it goes for a throw. And we have got about 9 minutes remaining of this first half. Patterson waits to take the throw. Scottish international to Gordon, being pulled back by O'Brien. Clearly had hold of his blue shirt. Andre Mariner is just going to have a word with Lewis O'Brien. He's not afraid to pick up a yellow card. He picked up 10 last season for Huddersfield Town. And Frank Lampard having a word with, I think it's Peter Banks, the 4th official down below, quite rightly saying he was away.
He's right what he's saying, Frank Lampard. That's a yellow card. That is a yellow card, shirt pull. Gordon was too sharp for him.
Yeah, he was. Free kick to Everton, still goalless. 10 yards in from the right touchline on this near side. Player goes down off the ball inside the penalty area. That was Holgate. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest get it away. Mangala just stopped short of the halfway line, back towards Williams. And now towards Joe Worrell. Because Everton have dropped off, they're not being stretched as much, Nottingham Forest, are they, in defence?
It gives Nottingham Forest time to play, time to hit a pass forward. But I'd like to see a bit more from Everton, a bit more pressing higher up the pitch, because they can do it. They've got the players to do it with Gray, Gordon.
They look much more comfortable to Nottingham Forest. Bolton Wanderers 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Bolton, who were 4th, they've won all 3 actually at home, unbeaten in League One. But Darren Moore's side are ahead there. Awoni, right-hand side of the penalty area, looks up, 3 wait inside the penalty area, couldn't pick out either Johnson or Lingard, comes out towards Williams. Williams darts forward, checks back now. Oh, what a cross that was. As the ball then comes in towards Cody, heads it away, played back by Mangala. And Gray lets it run out of play for a throw. Let's go back to John Akers at Leicester.
Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Madison with a free kick, left-hand side on the angle, right-footed, in-swinger, was heading for the top corner, sharp save Bazunu. 0-0, 7 minutes to half-time.
It was the old Rabona, wasn't it, from Nico Williams?
I couldn't even think about doing that, demo.
He's once again looking very, very bright for Nottingham Forest. Gray, meanwhile, on a strong diagonal run, carrying the ball forward. He looked for Gordon. Gordon wants it probably a fraction earlier. Had to hesitate and delay his run, and that just allowed Henderson to come off his line up to the front of edge of his area to smother the ball.
It's a good run by Damari Gray across the pitch, but he just delayed his pass. He just delayed his pass for that last second, and then the line had closed off.
West Bromwich Albion are leading Hull City by 1-0. Steve Bruce's side yet to win in the Championship, drawn 3 and lost 1. We'll get news of that goal when we can from Lee Blakeman. In fact, we can do it now, Lee.
Yeah, ball in from the right. West Brom 1, Hull 0. It was swung in. I think it's an own goal for Callum Elder. Still some debate about who got the final touch. Brilliant ball in from Furlong in the first place. And West Brom, against the run of play, you have to say, lead Hull by 1-0.
You're right, it is Callum Elder. That's what's come up on the computer screen in front of me. As Nottingham Forest now running into the back with the breeze on this blustery day. Give the ball away. Pickford then clears long. And all the way it goes back from one international, England international, to the other. Dean Henderson with 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes to go to half-time. Sheffield Wednesday have got a second goal. Bolton Wanderers 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2 in League One. Nottingham Forest lift the ball towards Awoni. Stretching to head it away was Tarkowski. Mikalenko will hook it away downfield for Everton as they play from left to right. Rondon, though, waiting for the ball to settle, is easily dispossessed by Mangala. O'Brien. Mangala waits, strokes it back. Still, we've got to go racing. Running behind at York for the E-board. John Hunt will call them home when they're away for the feature race of the week. As now it's with Cook, and almost at a walking pace. And this pace of the game suits the away side.
Totally suits the away side. It's two different games to what we saw in Newcastle against Forest to Forest against Everton. Two different styles of play, I'd say, as well.
Ball played forward then by Cody to Rondon. Flags up on this near side. Coming back from an offside position. Barnsley 0, Wycombe 1 is the latest score in League One. Don't forget, Sports Report, the reaction and all the results with Mark Chapman from 5 before we take you to the South Coast for Bournemouth Arsenal at 5:30. Then to be followed by 6:06, Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage after that game. As a former Bournemouth player, Cook, takes the free kick for Nottingham Forest. Red shirts, white shorts, playing from right to left. Toffolo down by the corner flag in front of the Gladys Street end.
You'd say with Steve Cook, he hasn't really broke sweat. He's been in the middle of the centre-backs. I'll tell you, when I was at Bournemouth, he was a fantastic character. I went in there in difficult circumstances, but as a captain, someone you could really rely on. Many a meeting with him, telling me about the culture of the club and what it was like. What a great person. I'm glad to see he's doing well back in the Premier League.
11 years and almost 400 appearances that he spent down at Bournemouth. Well, he's gone forward now because due to Toffolo's presence, Nottingham Forest have got themselves a corner kick in front of the Gladys Street end on this near side that Williams is going to take. So on this near side, the Forest left, this should be a right-footed in-swinger from the Welsh international in a very crowded area. Tarkowski attacks it, heads it away, controlled by O'Brien. Back out towards Williams on this near side, the Forest left, level with the penalty area. Right-footed ball in, Pickford opts to punch as he leaps into the air 6 yards out. Gordon will try and keep the ball in play on that far side, and then it's swept away by Mikalenko. Everybody was back for Everton, so it's kept by Toffolo, who now passes the ball across towards O'Brien. And with under 3 minutes to go to half-time at 0-0, it's Nottingham Forest who are seeing a lot of the ball at the moment. Now with Lingard, by and large, though, playing in front of Everton. As we will go to Crystal Palace, Aston Villa and Sahel Sahi.
3 minutes to play in this first half, Ian. It's still Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1, but Crystal Palace firmly on top. They carved open a glorious chance. Ayew denied by Martinez, and just now Buendia was denied by Guaita. Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1.
Newport 2, Tranmere 1 is the latest in League 2. Stevenage have got a second goal at home to Carlisle United, and at Tannadice in the Scottish Premiership it's Dundee United 0, St Mirren 1. You're up to date with the goals as they go in. They're loading the stalls at York for the E-ball. I reckon we'll be across with John Hunt within the next 60 seconds here on 5 Live. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest attack with Williams far side the right, level with the penalty area, delivers off his left foot. Toffolo makes a late arrival. Patterson tucked in, heads it away, flicked away then by Gray, headed back by McKenna, drops on the edge of the area. Tarkowski heads it away. So we're going to go racing. It's the E-ball at York John Hunt.
And a big field of 20 approaching the halfway stage here. Remarkable jockey Frankie Dettori. He's done a remarkable thing here, leading the way on Trawlerman, one of the favourites for the Ebor, and he stayed wide on the track throughout the early part of the race, and he's now cut across to join the others and leads from the hotly fancied Irish Raider. Earl of Tyrone in second place. Racing in third is Global Storm, followed then by two outsiders, Fancy Man and Max Vega are the next wave. They're followed through by John Leaper, considered a few years ago to be a horse who might win a derby. That never happened, but John Leaper going sweetly here in sixth place. Shanro just in behind him, and then Alfred Boucher, who is a horse who won here earlier this week, 3 days ago. He's followed by License, and then for Ireland, Okita Sushi is trying to make ground as they come down the home straight. Get Shirties in behind those. Valley Forge, an outsider, going very well. Enemy is also being produced as Raymond Tuss drops away at the back end of the field. He's got an awful lot to do, so too has Benno and Yukon Glen, last of all with Rodrigo Diaz. But now up front it's Earl of Tyrone who's come through to nose ahead. Global Storm and Trawlerman are still both there. Alfred Boucher being produced, bidding for his second winner of the week here. Can he land this big pot? John Leaper still got a squeak as well in fifth place, heading then inside the final furlong. Three of them in line. Alfred Boucher nosing to the front here, going on. Trawlerman and Frankie Dettori battling back all the time. Can Dettori get there? Alfred Boucher and Trawlerman. Oh, that's the tightest photo finish you could imagine between the two of them. It's either Alfred Boucher or Trawlerman. Photo finish for the Ebor. Behind them was Earl of Tyrone in third place. Just looking at a freeze frame now on the line, Ian, and I don't know. I just don't know. It's close. Trawlerman and Alfred Boucher. We'll let you know shortly, Ian.
Thank you, John. Well, if you don't know, then with your years of experience, it must be very, very tight. There's nothing has happened whilst we've been away. It's still 0-0. We're into stoppage time here at Goodison, but there has been a goal at Fulham, Masfarouki.
For Brentford, Christian Norgod has volleyed in direct from a corner. Well, the cross came in from the corner from the right, and he volleyed in from the edge of the box. A brilliant finish, first time touch, really against the run of play though. Fulham 2, Brentford 1.
And we'll stay in West London. Goal at Queen's Park Rangers, Aaron.
Equaliser, QPR 1, Rotherham 1. Chris Willock has it. He took the ball on the move, held off a defender and drilled his shot into the bottom right corner of Johansson's net. QPR 1, Rotherham 1.
Crewe 2, Northampton 1 is the latest score in League 2. Northampton have got a goal back. Doncaster have just equalised at home against the leaders Salford. Doncaster 1, Salford 1. Wimbledon now lead Crawley by 2-0 in League 2. You're up to date. We'll go around the grounds with Mark Chapman at half-time, which is now. The whistle has just sounded here at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Both goalkeepers have had shots to save in the early stages, but not a great deal of note has happened in the last 10 minutes or so.
Not many, you wouldn't say, great chances in the game. Everton seem to sit off Nottingham Forest a bit too much of Frank Lampard's liking, I think, when they can go and press them. But when Forest get hold of the ball, they're decent, they create some opportunities. That's it, fair, 0-0 at the minute.
So half-time then at Goodison, it's Everton 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
Thank you. Back there for the second half. Goalless at Goodison, goalless at Leicester as well. John Akers.
Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Leicester very much on top. Positives for them. Harvey Barnes has looked sharp on his comeback from injury. He's run at the Southampton defence and had the better of Walker Peters at times. Maddison's had a free kick beaten away by Bazunu. Perez has had the best chance for them, arguably. A volley, it sat up nicely for him on the angle, but he kicked thin air, and Southampton have had a goal ruled out for offside. Mara, on his full debut, away one-on-one, tucked it away lovely, but he was just offside. Leicester 0, Southampton 0.
Christian Dennis's fifth of the season has put Carlisle back in the game at Stevenage. They trail now by 2-1. Let's just tidy up the Ebor. John Hunt.
And it went to Trawlerman, a fabulous ride by 51-year-old Frankie Dettori, got up by a whisker to deny Alfred Boucher with the hotly fancied Irish Raider Earl of Tyrone back in third place. Trawlerman wins the Ebor at 9-1.
Half-time at Selhurst Park. Sahel Sahi.
Trawlerman and Selhurst Park. Mark Chapman, ring a bell.
All
those years ago. I said Trawlerman.
Oh, yes, very good. Very good.
Half-time 1-1, frantic attacking football from both sides. Aston Villa, they took the lead after 5 minutes. Ollie Watkins racing through to finish after a pass by Mings was cushioned into his path by Bailey. The lead only lasted 2 minutes though when Wilf Zaha was picked out by a long ball. He was one-on-one with Konsa, and the move Zaha's in, there was only one winner. Crystal Palace, they've had a goal ruled out by VAR, and both sides denied by top-class goalkeeping. Half-time here at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1.
Far too sharp for me this afternoon, aren't you, Sahel? Ross Stewart has scored for Sunderland at Stoke right on the brink of half-time. That's his third of the season. We'll get details of it shortly. And I'm not saying this, Maz, because he was on the Monday Night Club this week, but Christian Norgaard's goal is an absolute belter, but Fulham lead at half-time.
They do 2-1. A first-half performance, though, in the main, the polar opposite of what we saw from both sides last weekend. Brentford failed to clear their error in the opening seconds. The ball was fired onto the crossbar, and then Bobby de Cordova-Reid reacted quickest to score from the rebound. That was just after 50 seconds. Mitrovic then had the ball in the back of the net from a set piece, but he was offside. But then another set piece, this time a corner, gave Fulham their second. Paulinho jumping highest to head in ahead of Mitrovic. Brentford really haven't deserved anything from this game, but that goal from Christian Norgaard is a really special volley from a corner. A lovely, lovely finish from a set piece. It has given Brentford some hope at half-time, which they really don't deserve in truth. Fulham 2, Brentford 1.
I remember earlier it finished Tottenham 1, Wolves 0. Details of that Sunderland goal, Alistair.
Yeah, Sunderland have been under pressure for most of this half, but they're ahead in stoppage time by a goal to no. Lovely ball through from Jack Clark. Ross Stewart, as you were saying, took one touch, right-footed shot. The keeper got a hand to it, but it went into the corner of the net. Half-time whistle goes. Stoke City 0, Sunderland 1.
And the leaders are behind at half-time. Chris Coles.
They are, and they can have no complaints. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 0. The home side dominant all over the pitch. Their advantage should be far healthier. Ollie McBurney, Armel Ahmedhodzic and John Fleck all had wonderful chances before the goal did finally come. What a cracker it was. Oliver Norwood's free kick just right of centre, 25 yards out. He arrowed it into the top corner. Goalkeeper stationary. Blackburn have barely threatened. They need to be much better in the second half. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 0.
Preston have only scored once this season and haven't conceded, so I think we could probably have guessed the half-time score from Ellen.
Yeah, we've heard it plenty of times this season already, haven't we? Preston 0, Watford 0. The home side with more chances though so far, but the Spurs loanee Troy Parrott, who is still searching for his first for the club, is looking increasingly frustrated as opportunities keep falling to him inside the box, but he's just not able to convert. You can see how Preston have kept their clean sheet record so far, structured, calm at the back even when under pressure, allowing just the one big chance for Watford so far. Preston 0, Watford 0.
Now they have to be happy at the Hawthorns. Lee Blakeman.
They certainly do. West Brom ahead. It's Hull who've had the best chances, but the Baggies making theirs count. West Brom 1, Hull 0. Darnell Furlong's cross turned into his own net by Hull's Callum Elder, who just had a great chance to score for Hull down the other end. Hull's injury problems have got worse. Ozan Tufan has gone off, so Ryan Woods has come on to make his debuts. More bad news there for the visitors, who trail at the break here at the Hawthorns by a goal to 0.
All square at QPR. Aaron Paul.
Yeah, QPR 1, Rotherham 1. You know when you don't want half-time to come yet, that's this one. After a slow start, the game really came into life. Rotherham, they broke the deadlock. The former Brentford winger Chidozie Ogbeni with a place finish after some scrappy QPR defending. Rangers had chances to get back into it. Lyndon Dykes wasted those chances, but Chris Willock didn't, as he grabbed an equaliser on the run-up to half-time. That really kicked the crowd into life. QPR went close to another. Dykes forcing a good save out of Johansson. More of the same after the break, please. 1-1.
Wigan have drawn all 3 games in the Championship so far this season, and they're level at the break at St Andrews. Birmingham 0, Wigan 0, but they are down to 10 men at Wigan. Joe Bennett sent off midway through the first half. Great first half at Turf Moor. Burnley 3, Blackpool 1. Josh Brownhill with his second of the season, and then the other 2 Burnley goals have come from Nathan Teller, who's on loan from Southampton. Theo Corbianu got the Blackpool goal. Reading lead Middlesbrough by a goal to 0. Tyrese Forner with that goal. Middlesbrough continuing to struggle, yet to win this season. Swansea 0, Luton 1. They're next to bottom at the moment to Luton, but they lead at the break thanks to Alan Campbell's goal. Right, into League One. The leaders Ipswich are at Shrewsbury. Hamish Marshall.
And they're leading by a goal to 0, deservedly so, much to the delight of their travelling fans who've virtually sold out the away end. A superb bit of skill from Arsenal loanee Tyrese John Jules. Jules has them ahead. He picked it up 30 yards out, beat a couple of defenders and finished from inside the box. Nothing of note from the home side. Shrewsbury 0, Ipswich 1.
Wickham have lost their last 3 in the league, but they lead at the break at Oakwell. Barnsley 0, Wickham 1. Bolton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Sheffield Wednesday's opening goal came from George Byers, and you may have seen it this week, his reaction when he was substituted after just half an hour during the week when he was furious. Sheffield Wednesday drew a line under it. He's on the score sheet this afternoon. Bottom of the table, Burton 0, Port Vale 0. Charlton, who thrashed Plymouth during the week 5-1, lead at the break against Cambridge. Charlton 1, Cambridge 0. Goalless between Exeter and Cheltenham and Fleetwood and Derby. It's Forest Green Rovers 0, Plymouth 2. Finn Azan getting one of those goals. He's got 3 for the season now. MK Dons lead Accrington by a goal to 0. It's goalless between Oxford and Morecambe. Peterborough have had a great first half. They lead Lincoln by 3 goals to 0. Jack Marriott got the first 2 for the season for him. The other 2 have come from Johnson Clark Harris, one of them a penalty, and he's now got 5 for the season. Portsmouth 1, Bristol Rovers 0, the final score in League One. Half-time score, you see what I mean, last score in League One for me to give you. Connor Ogilvie with that goal, 3 for the season for him. Into League Two, let's start with Colchester against Leyton Orient. Lawrence Herdman.
Colchester United 0, Leyton Orient 1. Orient's fine start continuing here. They broke the deadlock on 17 minutes. An own goal, Paul Smith's low delivery from the right, and in trying to clear his lines, Colchester captain Luke Chambers could only turn the ball into his own net. George Moncur nearly doubled that lead. A stinging shot spilled by Sam Hornby, and Charlie Kelman's fired just over. But Colchester started the game brightly. Fullback Cameron Cox drew a fine fingertip save from Lawrence Vigarou in the Orient goal. So the visitors keeping up with the early League Two pace setters. Colchester 0, Orient 1.
The early game finished Hartlepool 1, Bradford 3. Bradford's first away win of the season. Here are the other half times. Barrow 1, Harrogate 0. Josh Gordon with his 3rd of the season for Pete Wild's side. Crawley 0, AFC Wimbledon 2. Nathan Young Coombs with his 3rd of the season. By the way, it is a day for goal scorers with double barrel names in League Two, as you'll find out in a minute. But Nathan Young Coombs with his 3rd of the season. Ethan Chislett with his 2nd of the season, giving Johnny Jackson's side the lead there. Crewe lead Northampton by 2 goals to 1. Courtney Baker Richardson's got both of Crewe's goals, 4 for the season for him. Sam Hoskins is the League Two top scorer now. He's got 6 for the season for Northampton. Doncaster 1, Salford 1. Salford took the lead through their top scorer, Brandon Thomas Asante, 5 in 6 for him now. Goalless between Gillingham and Walsall. Grimsby and Sutton, and also Mansfield and Stockport. Newport have come from behind to lead Tranmere by 2 goals to 1 at the break. It's Stevenage 2, Carlisle 1, and Swindon lead Rochdale. Bottom of the table, Rochdale, who've lost all 4 of their games so far, and they lead to Swindon by a goal to 0. Jacob Wakeling with that goal. In the National League this afternoon, Aldershot 0, Bromley 1, Altrincham 1, Yeovil 1. The leaders Barnet has scored on the stroke of half-time at home to Woking. They lead by a goal to 0. Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Maidenhead 0. Dorking lead Gateshead by 2 goals to 0. Heck of a first half at Glanford Park. Scunthorpe were 3-0 up on Solihull Moors, but they pulled 2 back, and it's 3-2 at half-time. Southend lead Oldham by a goal to 0. Dan Mooney got that goal, their summer signing from Altrincham. Torquay 0, Borehamwood 1. Wealdstone 1, bottom of the table, FC Halifax 0. Wrexham have had a dominant first half at home to Maidstone. They lead by 3 goals to 0. Paul Mullen on the score sheet again, 2 for the season for him. And it's York 0, Eastleigh 1 at half-time. Into the Scottish Premiership earlier, Hibs 2, Rangers 2. Rangers down to 9 men in that game. John Lundstrom and Alfredo Morelos both seeing red in the second half. In the 3 o'clock games, we're at Fir Park. Connie McLaughlin.
Yes, Motherwell 0, Livingston 0 at half-time. Only 1 shot on target is the story of this game, Mark. It came for the visitors, and even that was pretty tame at best, a wee bit rubbish at worst. But Motherwell seem comfortable. They're in control in Stevie Hamill's first home game in charge. Their best opportunity came through a diving header from Ricky Lamy, but that flew wide of the post. So we have had some action But what both sides have offered in the final third has been disappointing. They'll be hoping for better in the second. At half-time, it's Motherwell 0, Livingston 0.
You're not alone there, Connie. There's one goal in all the 3 o'clocks at the moment in the Scottish Premiership, and it's come at Tannadice, but it's gone the way of St Mirren. Curtis Main got it. Dundee United 0, St Mirren 1. They've had an awful start under Jack Ross of Dundee United, and as things stand, they would drop to the bottom of the table at this early stage of the season. It's also goalless between Ross County and Kilmarnock, and between St Johnstone and Aberdeen. In the Championship, Arbroath 0, Queen's Park 1, Cove Rangers 0, Ayr 0, Hamilton 0, Wraith 1, and Morton 0, Dundee 0. In League 1, Adrionians 1, Alloa 0, FC Edinburgh 0, Falkirk 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Dunfermline 0, Montrose League Clyde by a goal to 0, and it's Peterhead 1, Queen of the South 2. And in League 2, Annan 1, Stirling 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Albion 1, East Fife 0, Forfar 0, Elgin 2, Stranraer 1, and Stenhousemuir 0, Dumbarton 1. You're up to date with all the half times. Second half from Goodison on the way. But first, the latest BBC News at 3:01 with Carl Hartley.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Football fans are among the people experiencing travel disruption on the 6th day of national rail strikes this summer. About 45,000 workers have walked out in a dispute about pay, jobs and conditions. The home of Russia's Black Sea Fleet in Crimea has reportedly come under drone attack. Videos posted on social media show a large tower of black smoke rising above the naval headquarters in Sevastopol. Russia claims it shot down a Ukrainian drone that fell onto the roof of the building. The former Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove says he is backing Rishi Sunak in the Conservative leadership race. He told The Times that Liz Truss's tax plan were a holiday from reality. And the actor Stephen Tompkinson, best known for playing Inspector Alan Banks in the crime drama DCI Banks, has denied a charge of inflicting grievous bodily harm. The Crown Prosecution Service say he'll now appear at Newcastle Crown Court next month.
Essential football listening. More live Premier League football than anyone else.
Plus, get BBC Sounds to catch up or download podcasts, including Transfer Gossip Daily and the Football Daily.
Big names and big debates 7 days a week.
Proper Football with Chris Kamara and Ben Shepherd.
A new podcast where huge sports stars tell us what it's really like to be a footballer. You don't want to miss it.
Like the time you missed that red card, Kemi?
Give over.
And coming soon, Jermaine Defoe, Outside the Box. Essential football listening is right here.
They're rattling in the goals and they're racking up the points.
Including more live Premier League football than anyone else. Get your football fix. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Sport with Mark Chapman.
Cricket's on Sports Extra this afternoon. Trent Rockets against London Spirit. Henry Moran.
Yet the first of two matches today. The women's game first up, and 66 from 48 is the score for the Trent Rockets, asked to bat first in a game both sides really need to win. Nat Siver on her 30th birthday has 7 from 8. Bryony Smith, England teammate, is on 28 from 22.
Thank you, Henry. Mentioned earlier, Rangers reduced to 9 men at Hibs. It was worse for Saint Etienne in the second division in France today. They had 3 red cards, including their goalkeeper, and they were thrashed 6-0 at home by Le Havre, and they are bottom of the second division in France. 3 sent off for them this afternoon. The Premier League earlier, Tottenham beat Wolves by a goal to 0. In the 3 o'clock games, Fulham are 2-1 up at 2-1 up at home to Brentford. Crystal Palace 1, Villa 1, Leicester 0, Southampton 0, and it's also goalless at Goodison, where we find Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Mark. Yep, the Everton players are out here in the sunshine, warming up. Yet to see Nottingham Forest re-emerge from half-time, 0-0. So 2.5 games into this new season, and still an Everton player is yet to score. The only goal they've scored is that Luca Digne own goal from last weekend.
Well, with Richarlison going to Spurs, it's always going to be difficult. Calvert-Lewin injured and Rondon's come back. Gray and Anthony Gordon behind. Rondon are getting into good positions, but I need to see more runs in behind the Nottingham Forest back three. That's what'll hurt them. They haven't got great pace at the back, but it's there for them. I'd like to see more pressing from Everton as well. They know more in Nottingham's Forest face, really getting on top of them, but they're not really doing that.
Well, they haven't made a change at half-time, so I can give you the Everton team whilst we still wait for Nottingham Forest. Jordan Pickford in goal. Back three of Tarkowski, Holgate and Cody. Patterson and Mykolenko, the wing-backs. Tom Davies and Iwobi in the centre of midfield. And then Gordon, Rondon and Damari Gray. Here come Nottingham Forest. Everton, as you'd expect, royal blue shirts, white shorts. They'll be attacking the Gladys Street end of the ground in this second half. They'll be playing from right to left as we look. Forest haven't made any changes either, so Henderson in goal, a back three of Worrell, Cook and McKenna. Williams the right wing back. Williams and Worrell incidentally both booked in that first 45 minutes. Mangala and O'Brien in the centre of midfield. Toffolo the left wing back, and then Lingard and Johnson behind Owoni. So the referee is Andre Mariner. It's 0-0. We've got another commentary to look forward to. Bournemouth against Arsenal at 5:30. We'll bring you the team news when we can during the second half. And don't forget, tomorrow, 5 Live's Premier League Sunday from midday, with commentaries of Leeds United, Chelsea at Ellen Road, and Newcastle United against Manchester City from St James's Park at 4:30. But we're back underway here. So Nottingham Forest are attacking the Park end of the ground from left to right, but it's Everton who we watch now come forward with Mykolenko. To Damari Gray, passing the ball back to Tarkowski, and now to Jordan Pickford. Short sleeve, goalkeeper jersey, all in green. Holgate hits a rather flat ball forward, cleared away by Cook. Gordon tries to pick it up. Davis now comes away from Mangala. Davis, strong run, edge of the area. Win behind him. Playing it out now towards Patterson. Patterson on the right-hand side, looks towards Damari Gray. Gray with his back to goal, tees up Davis. Shot from that wide side area of the penalty box on that right. Never really going to get the shot away. It was easily blocked, and it goes out of play for a throw.
If you look at from that first half and you look at Joe Worrell, he's got a yellow card, so focus on him. Start running in behind him, because he doesn't want to run in behind.
Cross is a high one from Dean Henderson, who's quite wisely sporting a cap to shield his son from the eyes. Shield us, from his eyes. Just make sure I said that right. I was trying to multitask. I can't multitask. The computer had just gone blank on me. I'm not
great at multitasking.
No,
I'll be honest.
So
not great at all.
He's all in grey. Yeah, your wife's told me that.
She can't neither.
Here's Williams on this near side, and then it goes back with Cook inside the centre circle. Some late stragglers into the director's box right in front of us, making their way through. Domino effect as they make everybody rise to their feet in front of us. Here is Lingard to Owoni, easily picked up. It's a lacklustre game. It started brightly, but it's faded, and you don't feel as if these two sides are going to score at the moment.
No, I don't feel like I'm a Goodison, really, because normally the atmosphere is right on top of you, but the players need to bring the energy to the crowd, and the crowd will respond, because they always respond. But at the minute, the team aren't bringing that to the fans.
Well, I remember listening to that tumultuous game that Everton played Palace here last May on my way back from the Europa League final, and listening to the commentary, Alistair Bruce Ball that night, and obviously Everton celebrated hard, massive win, but it was Goodison Park at its raucous best, and the atmosphere feels flat, but it's almost as if there's not a great deal out there in the middle to try and get them to the edge of their seats at the moment.
The fans need something to grasp onto, to hold onto, but at the minute they're not really getting it.
First meeting since 1999 between these two. Worrell being told to hurry up by referee Andre Mariner as he takes the throw. Be a good point. I think if you'd have probably said to Steve Cooper at the start of the season, with a start that they had, if they could pick up a point here, you'd have taken 4 points from your opening games, bearing in mind the next two are Tottenham and Manchester City. You'd have probably taken that.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Here's Damari Gray coming forward now. Coming in off the left touchline. Ball passed out towards Patterson, given away. Let's go to Maz Faruqi at Fulham.
Ivan Toney has scored an equaliser for Brentford. It was a lovely turn. He picked up the ball at the edge of the 18-yard box, turned and fired into the corner. The Fulham defence did not pick it up. Fulham 2, Brentford 2.
Well, they've done exactly what they did at Leicester. Great resolve from Brentford. 2-0 down. And now at 2-2. Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1, Leicester City 0, Southampton 0. Port Vale are leading at Burton by 1-0. An early goal in the second half in League One. And here Everton have been awarded a free kick, which is level with the penalty area on that far side, the right, as they play attacking the Gladys Street end from right to left. And Damari Gray has strolled over in the sunshine to take it.
Normally when you see teams defending this situation, normally zonal. If you watch Nottingham Forest, they are man for man from a wide free kick, man for man, and they do it really well. Watch them go and score.
Damari Gray waits to take the free kick for Everton, right hand side, arcs its way in now, claimed well by goalkeeper Dean Henderson. Assured handling there. It might have been an awkward fall for him just outside the 6-yard area. We talked before about Brentford levelling, but a little bit similar to what had happened at Selhurst Park. The goal has been chalked off, Maz.
Yeah, it's been scrapped. Brian Mbomo offside slightly in the build-up. The VAR took a long time to look at it, but it's now still Fulham 2, Brentford 1. That Ivan Toney goal has been disallowed.
Oxford United 0, Morecambe 1 is the latest score in League One, and West Bromwich Albion have got a second goal. West Bromwich Albion 2, Hull 0. We mentioned Crystal Palace at Selhurst. Sahel.
Still Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1, 51 minutes played, but Leon Bailey cutting in from the right-hand side, smacked the crossbar. Guaita was well beaten. Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1.
It's no longer goalless at Leicester. John Akers.
Leicester have the lead. Free kick, direct. Maddison, classic right foot curler. I think the keeper gave him too much room at the near post, Bazunu, and he beat him about a foot inside the post. A low one. Leicester 1, Southampton 0.
Rondon turns and Rondon shoots. Excellent swivel there by Rondon. Played in low to his feet, inside the D of the penalty area. Turned very, very sharply, right-footed, dragged it wide of the left-hand post. Goal kick, 0-0.
Excellent technique. He was strong to hold Steve Cook off and just brought it to the other side of the post, but he took it well.
There's a goal kick to Nottingham Forest. It remains 0-0. I told you about that second goal from West Bromwich Albion. News of it from Lee Blakeman.
It was brilliant, Ian. It really was. John Swift, edge of the area, on his left foot, hard and low, daisy cutter across goal into the bottom corner. The natives much happier. West Brom 2, Hull 0.
BBC Radio 5 live in the World Service here at Goodison Park. And it's goalless at the moment between these two. They'll both be involved in League Cup action in midweek. In fact, Everton at Fleetwood is our commentary on Tuesday night. We'll go around some of the grounds as well. And on Wednesday night, we're in Holland. PSV against Rangers for a Champions League qualifier after it finished 2-2 at Ibrox last week. We brought you commentary of the first leg. We'll be in the Philips Stadion in Eindhoven on Wednesday night on 5 Live. Gordon shoots from distance, blocked by McKenna, comes out towards Lingard. Mangala held up a little bit there by Mikalenko, and Gordon and Davis get the ball back, and Damari Gray easily drops to his knees, and referee Andre Marin is having none of that. Peterborough have got a fourth. Peterborough 4, Lincoln 0. That's in League One, and Dundee United 0, St Mirren 2 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. You'd expect a number of changes being made, particularly maybe from the home side, to try and, apart from that Rondon effort, there was long periods where they've not really tested Dean Henderson enough.
No, they haven't, but they haven't got that many players to change. The squad depth's not great at Everton. No. It's not great, and what can they do to really change the game?
Had that turn and shot, but before that you're thinking of the Davis couple of efforts that he'd had, the shot that was parried away, and the one when he got round the back from a free kick that he maybe should have done better. Henderson then saving from Gordon. Hasn't been overly stretched. There's a stoppage in play. Orel Mangala, the Belgian international midfielder for Forest, is down injured. Let's go to our featured game in League One. There's been a goal. Hamish Marshall.
The leaders Ipswich are leading here at Shrewsbury by 2-0. Connor Chaplin back in the side today, given too much space on the edge of the penalty area. Nice finish from the edge of the box. It's Shrewsbury 0, leaders Ipswich 2.
Going well under Kieran McKenna. We will go into the Championship. Sheffield United, Chris Coles.
Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 0, but much better from Blackburn. They've just had their best moment of the game. Lewis Travis firing wide from 25 yards out. At the other end, Reda Kadra, who was actually on loan at Blackburn from Brighton last season, should have done a lot better from 6 yards out. He took far too long and was challenged at the crucial moment. Still Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 0.
Mangala can't continue. He's going to be replaced here by Ryan Yates, coming on. Picked up a knee injury in July in their pre-season in Spain. So an academy product. He's going to make his Premier League debut. So a proud moment for Ryan Yates. We'll go to Deepdale. Ellen Ellard.
Yeah, still Preston 0, Watford 0. The home side once again starting this second half, the brighter, but unable to break down that Watford defence. Preston 0, Watford 0.
So Yates is on for Mangala. A change being made by Steve Cooper. Mansfield 0, Stockport County 1. A latest score in League 2. Still goalless here. And Lingard unable to keep the ball in play. How would you assess Lingard's performance today, Jonathan?
He hasn't really been involved in it, to be honest with you. He's had no real moments in the game where you thought magnificent. It's quite quiet.
Yeah,
up to now
hasn't really made much of an impact on the periphery. Jesse Lingard. Here's Damari Gray. Ball rolls down his chest. He accelerates away from the halfway line, getting forward now to the edge of the penalty area. Into the box he goes, shoots across the face of goal, and it goes all the way across and out for a goal kick. That was better. Bit of purpose,
a bit of pace. Everton looking to make a few changes now.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see Onana come on. We won't ask you to do an Alan Shearer and to break out into song as he did on Match of the Day last week, but he's going to be coming on because he did make a difference for the last, I think it was about the last 9 minutes. He came on at Aston Villa last week. Now, he can either be a defensive midfielder, he can go box to box, but they spent £33 million on him from Lille. Amadou Onana, and there is a real presence about him as well. Belgian international, 21 years of age, and he is going to come on, and it's Tom Davies who makes way. Penalty meanwhile at Selhurst Park, Sahil side.
It's going to be taken by Wilfred Zaha, Ian. It's going to be Crystal Palace, who they'll be looking to go into a 2-1 lead. Luca Digne handballed the ball from a corner kick, had a lengthy VAR check, and Crystal Palace have been awarded this penalty. Referee blows a whistle. Here comes Zaha, right-footed, fantastic save, comes back out to Zaha, he doesn't miss, looks at Martinez, they have words. Crystal Palace lead Aston Villa by 2-1.
Palace 2, Villa 1, Fulham 2, Brentford 2, Leicester 1, Southampton 0 are the latest scores in the Premier League. It was a double change by Everton. Not only Onana coming on for Davies in the midfield, Salomon Rondon still yet to score a Premier League game at home here at Goodison Park, be replaced by Dwight McNeil. So at the minute, McNeil has gone into a central area. Damari Gray is out on the right-hand side, and Gordon is the left of the front three. Williams sends over a cross for Nottingham Forest. Still goalless here on 5 Live in the World Service. Mansfield completely turned it around. Mansfield 2, Stockport County 1 now is the latest score in League 2. Oxford equalised at home to Morecambe. It's 1-1, and West Bromwich Albion have got a third goal at home to Hull City. McNeil out towards Patterson, back towards McNeil, plays it in low. Damari Gray holds off Cook, back towards Onana, gives it away. Toffolo, left corner of his own penalty area, clears. Swindon have got a second goal. Swindon 2, Rochdale 0, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in on 5 Live. Here is Williams coming forward for Nottingham Forest, and he's miscued that. Bit of a miss kick, easily picked up by Pickford.
I think it's what the fans want. Bringing the subs on. Hopefully Onana comes on and makes that difference and gets the fans at it again. He's a great shape, isn't he? Lean, tall, Looking forward to see how he adapts to the Premier League, young player, 21-year-old.
Could be a really, really good signing. I know there was a lot of interest from West Ham United, but it was Everton who secured his services. But what a prospect. Here is Williams. Forward, Tarkowski heads it towards Iwobi. Iwobi to Onana. To come across his body, corner in possession. Awoni to the edge of the area, feeds it to Johnson. I think Onana tried to haul down Awoni. It was a deliberate act, and actually, although he wriggled away from him, the Forest player, Andre Mariner has just shown a yellow card to the Everton substitute. I think he was actually he was guilty for giving the ball away last week that led to one of the goals for Aston Villa.
He didn't check what was around him, he didn't scan, he didn't know what was around him there. And it's a right decision by Andre Mariner because he did try to bring him down. Rugby tackle, like.
Morgan Gibbs-White is coming on, he's going to make his debut. Forest in the first 2 games giving out 10 debuts to different players. That's a full complement, the 11 now. And Gibbs-White coming on, making his Forest debut after being signed, a record signing from Wolverhampton Wanderers. So he now will go in behind, and Brennan Johnson leads the line.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson will go as the number 9. With Lingard, Morgan Gibbs-White, there'll be the 2 10s in behind him. There's still the 3 at the back, the 4 in midfield.
He's a player who Steve Cooper knows well, not just from his time at Swansea City during a loan spell when Steve Cooper was the manager down at the Liberty Stadium, but also, of course, he won the Under-17 World Cup with England when Steve Cooper was the England Under-17 manager. Now, Everton have been awarded a free kick on this near side. 16 minutes into the second half. Exeter 0, Cheltenham 1 is the latest score in League One. Yet to win, actually, under Wade Elliott, Cheltenham, so that could be ending here today. But at the Gladys Street end, Everton, about 10 yards in from the left touch line, have got a free kick that Damari Gray, should it be an in-swinger or an out-swinger from Dwight McNeil, the substitute? It is going to be Damari Gray, and it goes, kept out well by Henderson. Unsighted, low curling ball, awkward bounce just in front of the goalkeeper, reacted very, very well to claw it away.
Good save, good solid. He's been solid, hasn't he, Henderson today? Distribution good, makes good saves, looks commanding. It's the type of goalkeeper you want to play as you're a central defender. He's behind you. You can see him communicating with his defence, knows what he wants. Confident lad.
Now, I mentioned that 3rd goal for West Bromwich Albion. Let's just get a latest from that game, shall we, with Lee Blakeman.
Still is 3-0 to West Brom. Goal of the day, Darnell Furlong, 25 yards out, an absolute pile driver across goal. Carlon Grant's just gone close to making it 4, as it is West Brom 3, Hull 0.
Pickford picks up the ball. There seems to be a lack of urgency from Everton.
It must be driving the fans crazy because they don't have that intensity to the game. It's just frustrating.
Here is Mikolenko. Mikolenko.
Confidence thing?
Maybe, I don't know. You think, though, towards the end of last season, they picked up 10 points out of a possible 18 to stave off relegation. This would have been the ideal opportunity for Everton to get some points on the board. Get 3 points, bearing in mind they've got 2 testing away games. Brentford next Saturday, followed with a trip to Leeds United. Onana now goes in here. He's already been booked. He's conceded a free kick. Andre Mariner is being surrounded by the Forest players. Got to be very careful.
You don't want to see him getting sent off on his home debut, do you? There's not many have done that. But you just don't want to see it. But he needs to be careful.
It's a free kick. It's for a foul on O'Brien. Now this is 30 yards out from goal for Nottingham Forest. Central position, maybe even further than 30 yards out. Now the ball has been rolled away a little bit more by Andre Mariner. Everton have got everybody back. Plymouth have just got a 3rd. Forest Green 0, Plymouth 3 in League One. Forest have got every red shirt in the Everton half. Now Nico Williams is there. Lingard's having a look. Toffolo is the other player. O'Brien's walking away. Everton have got everybody back. It's going to have to be something special to beat Pickford from this distance. It's over 30 yards out. It's Nico Williams. He gets the height. It curls wide. It's a goal kick. Nothing special. We'll go to Sheffield United, Chris Coles.
Sheffield United still lead Blackburn by a goal to nil. It should be 2. Thomas Kaminski in the Blackburn goal is having an inspired game. He's just made a brilliant save to deny Ollie McBurney, who just had to slide it past him from 3 yards out. He was already planning his celebration, and there was a Kaminski right leg to deny him. Blackburn better, but they still trail Sheffield United by 1 goal to nil.
It's still 0-0 here. Palace leading Aston Villa 2-1. Damari Gray getting away, scampering forward on this left-hand side into the penalty area. Pulls it back. Onana hits it first time. Right-footed, just under 30 yards out. Little movement in the air, off target, goal kick, still goalless. Jonathan.
Tough to score from there. Oh, I like by Nico Williams, got back in really quick. Wall was left by Damari Gray, but Nico Williams got in so quick. Very impressive over the games I've seen him.
Another goal at Leicester City, John Akers.
For Southampton, equaliser. Leicester 1, Southampton 1. Long throw, not dealt with by Leicester. Che Adams the substitute, via a little deflection past Ward. It's 1-1.
Forest Green 0, Plymouth 3, Charlton 1, Cambridge 1. 2 latest scores in League One, still 0-0 here. This is Gibbs White. A little bit too far ahead of Williams. It went straight to Frank Lampard. Everton take the quick throw, and Nana fouled then. Everton will get a free kick just 10 yards inside their own half. Well, the game has been disappointing. Worrell, forward. Cody steps out of defence for Everton. Continues to charge forward.
He's got no one there. He's got no one there when he runs forward. There's no one running off to the left of him or to the right of him. They're just standing still, waiting for the ball to arrive. They need runners in behind Everton. They're making it too easy for Steve Cook.
Well, we knew that goals were going to be a problem for Everton, with Calvert-Lewin out injured, and he's going to be out for another 4 weeks. And the sale of Richarlison to Tottenham. He was involved in 15 goals in the Premier League last season, scoring 10, 5 assists. But at the minute, Everton just look toothless. Let's go to Fulham. Maz Faruqi.
Still Fulham 2, Brentford 1, but Fulham should have a third. Mitrovic pounced on an attempted back pass from Brentford, but couldn't beat David Raya. This game's really opening up. Fulham 2, Brentford 1.
Match of the day tonight. You'll see all the goals. You'll be able to have your say as well. 606 with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. 08085 909 693. The usual number to call after we've brought you commentary of Bournemouth Arsenal from 5:30. We'll get the team news when it's in. Tarkowski gets away from Lingard, hits a right-footed ball. Making that run in was McNeil. Left-hand side of the penalty area. McNeil waits for support, looks for Damari Gray. Forest defence deals with it. Clears to Lingard, plays the ball back to Williams. Motherwell 1, Livingston 0 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Bristol Rovers have equalised at Portsmouth. Portsmouth 1, Bristol Rovers 1. Just told you that Motherwell had levelled. News of it from Conor McLaughlin.
Yeah, the home side ahead. Kevin Van Veen from the penalty spot after what was deemed to be a handball. He was the top goal scorer last season. He scored last weekend. The form continues. It's Motherwell 1, Livingston 0.
And Doncaster against the League 2 leaders have turned it around. They are now leading Salford by 2 goals to 1. Doncaster 2, Salford 1. 0-0. Frank Lampard offering vocal encouragement from down below. Steve Cooper at the corner of his tiny technical area as we look down from our commentary position here in the main stand. I mean, Goodison Park's quiet. Here is Gordon. What can he do to try and make something happen? He at least wins a corner, taken off his toes by Cook. Everton 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Now the Everton supporters find their voices. Corner kick on this near side. The Everton left. Damari Gray to take it. Won't be quiet in our 2 commentaries tomorrow at Ellen Road and St James's Park. That is a guarantee in 5 Live Premier League Sunday. It won't be quiet here if Everton score. In it goes. Henderson again did well under pressure, but got an outstretched hand to it. Actually kept in play by O'Brien. never gave up. O'Brien on that far side, races forward. Now ahead of him is to Lingard. Lingard tries to play it on the inside. Gibbs-White wasn't expecting that. Everton being urged on by this crowd. We're past the midway point of the first half, but the referee has stopped play because Henderson is down and in pain, and he's holding his leg. We'll go back to Craven Cottage, Masfaruqi.
I said this game was really opening up. Ivan Toney had the ball in the back of the net, offside of it again though. Another disallowed go for Ivan Toney. Still Fulham 2, Brentford 1.
Injury then to Dean Henderson. We'll get an update from Selhurst Park. Sahel Sahi.
Crystal Palace 2, Aston Villa 1 into the last 20 minutes, and Crystal Palace are firmly on top. Eze and Zaha, they've been absolutely magic this afternoon, Ian. Crystal Palace lead Aston Villa by 2-1.
Plenty of liquid refreshment being taken on board, and tactical instructions also been passed to the respective teams down below whilst the stoppage continues. Leicester City, Southampton, John Akers.
18 minutes to go. Leicester 1, Southampton 1. Southampton looking the more likely to get a winner at the moment. Armstrong A off, S Armstrong on, and a double change for Leicester. Tielemans and Daka are on for Perez and Vardy. It's 1-1.
I'll take advantage of this break in play to give you the latest scores. In the Scottish Premiership, the early result, Hibs 2, Rangers 2. Rangers had Lundstrom and Morelos sent off. Don't forget commentary on Wednesday night from Holland. PSV Rangers for that vital Champions League qualifier. Latest scores, Dundee United 0, St Mirren 2. Motherwell lead Livingston by 1-0. Ross County 0, Kilmarnock 0, St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 1. Back to the Premier League has been a goal at Craven Cottage, Masfaruqi.
This one counts. Ivan Toney has made it 2-2. Some lovely build-up play down the right-hand side from Johan Visser, who did so well, and then a tap-in for Toney. Fulham 2, Brentford 2.
Latest scores in League 2. Don't forget the result. Hartlepool 1, Bradford City 3. The latest scores are Barrow 1, Harrogate 0, Colchester 0, Leyton Orient 1. Leyton Orient then would go top because Salford are losing. Crawley 0, Wimbledon 2. And Crawley are down to 10 men. Crewe 2, Northampton 1. Doncaster Rovers 2, Salford 1. Gillingham Walsall, Grimsby Sutton are both goalless. Mansfield 2, Stockport County 1. Newport lead Tranmere by 2-1. Stevenage 2, Carlisle 1. Swindon 2, Rochdale 0. Everton on the attack. McNeil, play back underway into the penalty area, cleared by Henderson. Where shall we go now on 5 Live? And it's a goal at Palace, Sahel Sahi.
All 3 points for Crystal Palace. They lead Aston Villa by 3-1. Cross from the left. Mateta's just come on as a second half sub, and he slammed it home from 6 yards away. Crystal Palace 3, Aston Villa 1.
Iwobi to Gordon. Gordon with a curling effort. Fine save by Henderson. Right-footed. Henderson at full stretch out towards his left behind for a corner kick. Brilliant by both players.
Henderson, a really good save considering he's still struggling with his injury a little bit. He's been in fine form today, Henderson. Outstretched, great save.
He's made some decent saves today, has Dean Henderson. In comes the corner kick, and it goes behind. You could hear the groan from the Evertonians for a goal kick. Latest scores in League 1 then. Barnsley 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Bolton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Burton 0, Port Vale 1, Charlton 1, Cambridge 1, Exeter 0, Cheltenham 1. That would be a first win for Wade Elliott. Fleetwood 0, Derby 0, Forest Green 0, Plymouth 3, MK Dons 1, Accrington 0, Oxford 1, Morecambe 1, Peterborough 4, Lincoln City 0, Portsmouth 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Shrewsbury 0, Ipswich Town 2. The leaders have that cushion. They will be staying top despite Peterborough's handsome win, leading Lincoln by 4-0. Another goal at the Hawthorns in the Championship. Lee Blakeman.
Yeah, 4-0 here as well. West Brom 4, Hull 0. Connor Townsend brought down. Penalty dispatched perfectly by Carlan Grant, and West Brom have got the first league win of the season. 4-0 they lead.
I'll give you the Championship latest scores once we've got the team news from Bournemouth. Conor McNamara.
Scott Parker makes 3 changes from the defeat at Manchester City. There's a home debut for Argentinian international Marcus Senese. That'll allow Jefferson Lerma push into midfield. Jordan Zamora replaces Jack Stacey on the left, and Phil Billing comes into the midfield for Lewis Cook. For the visitors, Arsenal unchanged. That's the 3rd game in a row now. Last time Arsenal started a new season with the same team for 3 opening games, they went on to win the league.
Well, that would be progress. Swansea 0, Luton Town 2, a latest score in the Championship. That'll be a first win for Luton this season if it stays that way. Nottingham Forest are attacking. They've lost the ball. Holgate will clear the ball out of play for a throw back to the Championship. Goal at Sheffield United. Chris Coles.
The points are heading to Sheffield United. They lead Blackburn by 2-0. Second half sub Iliman Ndiaye didn't know much about it. Was smashed at him by Sander Berger, and Ndiaye was on the line to turn it home. The early league leaders heading for their second straight defeat. Sheffield United 2, Blackburn 0.
We've got just over 10 minutes remaining of normal time. O'Brien forward for Forest. He gets the ball in towards the penalty area now. Shot takes a deflection and it runs just wide. It actually came off Ryan Yates, but it was a wicked deflection and Pickford was struggling. Corner kick to Forest.
That could have gone anywhere. That could have gone absolutely anywhere, and that would have summed Everton's performance up. I'd say lacklustre, especially for the first 74 minutes. It's been lacklustre. It's lacked that intensity, and Nottingham Forest were unlucky there.
It was a double deflection, in fact, off the Yates shot. Corner kick to Forest. Can they snatch something? They scored 22 goals in the last 15 minutes in the Championship last season. They're looking to try and profit now as we enter the final quarter of an hour here at Goodison. Williams with a corner kick, flicked on by Yates. Downward header from McKenna. Everton partially get the ball away. Gordon tries to run it clear, runs into trouble, tries to win it back, doesn't succeed. Gibbs White, he's done well, left hand side, delivers the cross, cleared by Everton, only as far as Williams. Williams with a shot and drills it wide out for a goal kick, and it remains 0-0.
Again, Nico Williams picks it up, drives it at the box, and it's a good strike. Pickford, I think he just goes wide of the post there, but Nico Williams picks up some great positions, and the introduction of Morgan's Gibbs White, he's going to be a talented player. Don't worry about the price tag, he's going to be a good player.
Encouragement then for that strong travelling support. Latest scores as promised in the Championship. Birmingham 0, Wigan 0. Remember, Wigan have been down to 10 men since Joe Bennett was sent off in the 10th minute. Birmingham 0, Wigan 0, it remains at St Andrews. Burnley 3, Blackpool 1, Preston 0, Watford 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Rotherham 1, Reading lead Middlesbrough by a goal to 0. Sheffield United 2, Blackburn Rovers 0, as we've heard, Stoke 0, Sunderland 1, Swansea City 0, Luton Town 2, and West Bromwich Albion beating Hull City by 4 goals to 0. The results and the reaction in Sports Report with Mark Chapman at 5. 14 minutes remaining of the game. Wycombe have just got a second goal in League One at Barnsley. Barnsley 0, Wycombe 2. In the Premier League, Crystal Palace are leading Aston Villa by 3 goals to 1. Fulham 2, Brentford 2, Leicester 1, Southampton 1, and it's goalless here. Will we have a winning goal in the next 13 minutes of normal time, bearing in mind there hasn't been a draw between these two in 30 years?
He's desperate for reinforcements, isn't he, Frank Lampard?
Yeah.
Absolutely desperate. When you're watching this game, Deno, you can see it. You can see it a mile off.
Here is Williams. Inside to Toffolo, caught in possession, midway through the Everton half. Iwobi now runs forward. Thing is, he might have to sell Anthony Gordon in order to bring in players. Such are the financial constraints that Everton now find themselves in. Back it goes with Holgate to Pickford. Tarkowski. Certainly, it's been a match to test the patience of the home support. Gray in the centre circle. Held up a little bit by O'Brien. Gray waits for the run of Patterson. Edge of the area. Back to goal. Out to Gordon. Gordon comes into the box now. Gordon with a shot. Too close to the goalkeeper Henderson, who made a comfortable save.
Easy save again for Henderson. Anthony Gordon was actually well there because he tracks the run of Patterson and receives it back. Just a lack of power in the shot there on his weaker side. Easy for Henderson in the end.
Chelsea on the opening day, it was the first time that they'd not scored at home since March, but of course last season they had a Richarlison or a Calvert-Lewin, as Blackpool have got another goal back at Turf Moor to set up a rather tense finish at Turf Moor. Burnley 3, Blackpool 2 in the Championship. 12 minutes of normal time remaining here. This is Gibbs White linking up with Lingard. Gibbs White then carves the ball out towards Toffolo. Growing in confidence, not exactly sitting back either, are they, Forest? Featured game in League Two is at Colchester. A goal. Oh, hold on. Play continues on that far side. Cross from Toffolo in the penalty area. headed away by Tarkowski. Only as far as O'Brien goes the volley off target. Goal kick 0-0. So Lawrence Herdman at Colchester.
Leyton Orient heading top. They've doubled their lead. Colchester 0, Leyton Orient 2. Again, Paul Smith, the provider on the left. Lovely low cross, and firing it high into the net was Theo Archibald. Colchester 0, Orient 2.
Hull have got a consolation at West Brom. They trail by 4-1. Another goal at Sheffield United, Chris Coles.
No doubt about it now. Sheffield United 3, Blackburn 0. Iliman Ndiaye's second of the game. His first was scrappy, his second was exquisite. Brilliant run, edge of the penalty area, left foot shot in off the post. Sheffield United 3, Blackburn 0.
Sheffield United going to the top of the Championship with 3 wins out of 3 at Bramall Lane at home under Paul Heckingbottom. And 11 minutes remaining here, and it's still 0-0 between Everton and Nottingham Forest. O'Brien on the halfway line, plays it back to Gibbs-White. He's certainly seen a lot of the ball since he's come on. Lingard flicks it towards Yates, now towards Williams, forward on this near side. Didn't have the chance to reach Lingard, but he's won it back, and then Onana goes into the challenge and had to time that one right because Williams had a sight of goal. Everton were trying to break. O'Brien's won it back. Forest look the better side.
Yeah, they do now. I think since Morgan Gibbs-White come on and he's playing alongside Lingard as the 2-10s, and those both players now, since Morgan Gibbs-White came on, have looked better. Forest look the better team.
Accrington have equalised at MK Dons in League One. It's 1-1. Here is Gibbs-White to Lingard. Challenge comes flying in from Tarkowski. Good challenge too. And then McNeil can't find Gordon. It was a counter-attack for Everton, and you could hear the groans. Exasperated Evertonians inside Goodison Park. Under 10 minutes remaining. If I was a betting man and you wanted one team to try and nick it in these 10 minutes, I'd fancy Forest. Here is Lingard, just on the balance of play. Toffolo cuts inside, Lingard waits. They're committing so many red shirts forward. Yates from distance, Pickford makes the save, loose ball comes out, tucked in by Johnson. Brennan Johnson scores for Nottingham Forest. It could well be back-to-back wins for Nottingham Forest, which would be huge. And it would mean that Everton remain pointless. Brennan Johnson on the follow-up, Forest 1-0.
He was the quickest to react. So sharp to react to that ball, and what a finish. Composure at the highest level. Tucked it away to Pickford's left. What a fantastic finish. But we just said there, Deno, you can see a team winning it. We both said it. Forest, they're more on the front foot.
Shot came in, Pickford dives to his right, inside left channel of the penalty area, tucked away, composed finish from Brennan Johnson. Last season's top scorer bags his first in the Premier League, and Forest with 9 minutes remaining are leading by a goal to 0. A goal at Leicester City, John Akers.
For Southampton, and another for Che Adams off the bench. It's a finish of the highest quality. The ball in from Ward-Prowse. He's around the penalty spot. It's a flying scissor kick volley past Ward in the Leicester goal. It's brilliant, 8 yards out. It's a fantastic goal. 6 minutes left. Southampton ahead 2-1.
Let's get an update from Fulham. Maz Faruqi.
Really good chance to Mitrovic to win it. A header just at the left-hand corner post. The cross came in from the right, 6 yards out. Really good save from Raya. Fulham 2, Brentford 2.
Here is Patterson for Everton, out towards Gordon. Gordon, right-hand side of the penalty to the byline, cleared away by Cook. Forest are going to make a change. Czech Kouyaté is going to be coming on. He was signed on a free after his release from Crystal Palace. He's going to be making his Forest debut. So 2 goals in close proximity. This one here with Forest now leading and Southampton turning it around at Leicester. Level at Craven Cottage. Palace on course for 3 points at home to Aston Villa. Earlier Tottenham 1, Wolves 0. Match of the day tonight for all of the highlights on BBC One. But you speak to any manager in the Premier League, particularly for a new team coming up into the top flight, the ability to get back-to-back wins, huge.
So difficult to do. So difficult to do, especially in this Premier League. It's so difficult. The teams are outstanding. The players are outstanding, and to do that, if they do it, is a very good achievement in the early part of the season.
Jack Kouyaté coming on for Jesse Lingard. Tell you who's made a difference, Gibbs White.
Gibbs White, you could see it. As soon as he came on, he had the energy. And he teamed up well with Lingard was quiet until Gibbs White came on. Probably a player on his type of wavelength.
Is there a time for a response from Everton? We've got 6 minutes of normal time remaining. Williams goes in for a firm challenge on Onana, who's left writhing around. Williams, remember, was booked in the first half. Andre Mariner just comes across. It'll be a free kick to Everton. Well, it's got to come from a set piece, because in open play they created very, very little. Almost feels like an air of resignation around Goodison Park as well. Gray waits. Under 6 minutes remaining. Gray to take the free kick, just in from the left touchline. Right-footed, didn't beat the first man, cleared away by Gibbs White. Mikalenko steers the ball into the path of Gray. Diagonal ball, sprayed out towards that far side. Connor Cody, it is, level with the penalty area. In comes the cross from McNeil. Tarkowski's up there, challenges. Henderson's lost it, not properly cleared. Comes back towards Holgate. One shot was blocked. Now towards Gordon. Another shot blocked. Real goal now, scramble. Another block from Forest. Credit the Forest defenders. How many red shirts back?
Some fantastic blocks. Worrell once, Nico Williams twice. Throwing the bodies in the way, shots. When Everton raining on down, but why didn't they take it earlier at times there, Everton? There was time Anthony Gordon could have hit one a bit quicker.
Must have been, what, 3 good blocks there. Just
Real
so many
blocks.
bodies back in that penalty area. Gordon now once again overruns it. Kouyaté gets there. Ball will spin free. Now it's with Iwobi. Very, very deep. Trailing by a goal to nil. Forest fans celebrating on that far side. By my watch, 4.5 minutes of normal time remain. Ross County 1, Kilmarnock 0 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Swindon have got a third against Rochdale in League 2. Still, they'll be without a point. The only side in the Football League, Rochdale, bottom of League 2. Robbie Stockdale, of course, relieved of his duties on Thursday. Cleared away by Everton. Up towards Mikalenko, lifted the ball forward, and it goes to Henderson. And Henderson in no real hurry.
When you look at what they've spent over the years, Deno, and to see the players on the pitch now and what they've wasted, you feel for Frank Lampard, because he hasn't got that money to spend now.
Yeah. Well, you said it before with March Hammond, this is a club under Mashiri. It spent £500 million.
£500 million.
And as a football club, they're not actually better off for it.
No.
You think David Moyes at times scrimped and he scraped, and yet he was able to put together a team that was to challenge for European football. Mashiri's come in and spent over £500 million.
It just shows if you don't get the right players in to fit this league, then you're going to struggle. And it is a difficult and a different league compared to all the rest. The intensity in this league is far greater than Serie A, La Liga.
Gray's made a run through the middle. Pickford found him. Gray, great control. Gray equalises. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. Pickford with the assist, right down the middle. The control from Damari Gray was absolutely exquisite. He was then able to glide across the surface and steer the ball past Pickford. Everton go route 1, and it pays off as they salvage a late equaliser. 1-1.
It's an incredible pass by Jordan Pickford, and for Damari Gray to take that on the full and dance round Henderson. A very, very, very good bit of play there by Jordan Pickford. He has that in the locker. But that just shows your goalkeeper is assisting. But what a pass.
The touch?
In fantastic touch. To take it on the full. Absolutely brilliant.
You're right. It didn't bounce from Pickford's ball downfield.
Took it on the full. Brilliant.
The control was beautiful. West Brom 5, Hull 1. The 10 men of Wigan are now leading at Birmingham by a goal to nil. And now all of a sudden, this famous old ground, you can hear the roar of the Evertonians.
This is what they wanted from minute one. This is what the Everton fans want to see.
Let's get an update from Leicester. John Akers.
Leicester 1, Southampton 2. 6 minutes of added time. We've got 5 left, and Leicester are pushing into the penalty area. Dewsbury Hall goes over. No penalty, says the referee. Southampton fans nervous. Leicester 1, Southampton 2.
Steve Cooper will be disappointed how Forest were caught out like that, I'm sure. But it's 1-1 now here. Who'd have thought, 10 minutes ago, we said 2 goals. Kouyaté forward for Forest. Turns, lays it out to Toffolo, delivers the cross on the stretch, arriving late. Yates couldn't keep it down by the penalty spot. Right-footed. There's been another goal at Fulham. Maz.
Alexander Mitrovic has possibly given Fulham the win here. Header and a left-hand post. This place has erupted. Fulham 3, Brentford 2.
Burnley 3, Blackpool 3. That sounds a real humdinger of a derby. And both teams have had a player sent off. Sonny Carey for Blackpool and Ian Martson for Burnley, both for violent conduct. 3 apiece there at Turf Moor. Portsmouth lead Bristol Rovers by 2 goals to 1. Barnsley 0, Wycombe 3, I think I gave you. We're up to date. Now, how much added on time will there be? We'll wait and keep an eye on the 4th official down below. 1-1 here at Goodison. Here is Anthony Gordon to Damari Gray, the goal scorer. First player of Everton to score this season. Now he delivers a cross from the left, and it goes behind, and they're looking to try and grab a late winner in 4 minutes of added on time, which we're now into.
When you look at the goal from Everton, how many times have Everton tried to get in behind the Notts Forest defence? For one of the first times in the game, they get in behind and they score.
Nottingham Forest will want to dig deep. Everton have a corner kick. 4 minutes of added on time a minimum. Attacking the Gladys Street end. Corner kick for Everton, right-footed, right down the throat of Henderson at the far post. Easily claimed. We'll try and bring you as much reaction as we can. We've got commentary coming up at Bournemouth Arsenal at 5:30. Forest have given it away. Here is McNeil. Lifts it out towards Gordon. Left corner of the area. Gordon inside towards Iwobi. Back to goal. Back to Gordon. Doesn't deliver the ball. Comes onto his right foot. Tries to create the opening. Pushed out by Henderson. Awkward for the keeper in the sunshine. Gibbs White. No foul. Dive there from Gibbs White, says referee Andre Mariner. Everton now have it. Forest have everybody back. Everton now are building up a head of steam. Iwobi chips the ball forward. McNeil's made the run. Headed away by Cook. Williams wins the duel against Mikolenko. Iwobi comes, and with Mikolenko they've won it back. The desire from Everton is there for all to see.
Why has it took this long?
I know, mystifying.
Why has it took this long? All our energy at the last 4 minutes of the game.
Ball hit forward. Gray making the run forward. The goalkeeper's come. Gray is being held there a little bit by Worrell. Holds it off, lays it out towards Gordon, left corner of the area. Tees up Iwobi. Iwobi tries to place it just over the top. Everton have left it late. It might frustrate, it might mystify Frank Lampard, but that again was closed by Iwobi, because all of a sudden now Forest are really up against it.
It's amazing football when it's in this situation of the game. It's took this long for the game to come alive. It has, and the fans are at it now. The fans want it now, where before the players weren't giving them it.
Yeah. Juliet will be going down to interview the managers very, very soon. Has just made the point about the producer, Juliet Farrington. They did this against Villa last week. Almost got something out of that game at Villa Park. Here they have at least come from behind to get a point. The back header's a poor one. Gordon's in. Henderson was quickly there to the edge of his area to save. Was it Worrell who just sold him short, and Gordon was in? Tried to lob the goalkeeper. We've got 90 seconds remaining. Offside against Gordon. Henderson certainly did well there, didn't he? Just to pat the ball down at around head height.
He's quick. He's quick, Henderson, off his line. He's sharp when he has to make decisions, and he makes them quick. He's decisive.
Colchester 0, Leyton Orient 3 is Our ladies score in League Two. St Mirren have got a third goal at Dundee United in injury time at Tannadice. Sports Report, results and reaction to come with Mark Chapman. The last 60 seconds remain. 1-1 here. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Palace 3, Villa 1, Fulham 3, Brentford 2, Leicester City 1, Southampton 2. And at least Everton getting a point. It would mean that West Ham United and Manchester United are the only two teams who are pointless so far in the Premier League. Here is Yates in the midfield. Back towards Worrell on the halfway line. Hits it forward. Headed away by Tarkowski. This will be a first draw in the Premier League, and indeed it is, because that's how it's finished. Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Everton at least salvaging a point, because for long periods it looked like it was going to be a very frustrating afternoon. Jonathan Woodgate.
The game came alive towards the end, but Nottingham Forest went ahead, they deserved it. Everton, credit to them, they got back into it by an incredible assist by Jordan Pickford, but the ground just didn't come alive. The players weren't giving the crowd the energy. But I'd say 1-1 fair result in the end, Deno.
Everton 1, Forest 1. Brennan Johnson gave Forest the lead 9 minutes from time. Damari Gray with a superb assist from Pickford and a wonderful finish with the equaliser. One apiece here at Goodison Park.